Yeah, it's tier list time. Fandoms. You know them, you love them, you're obviously disgusted by them, but fandoms. Today we are going to be tier listing from the fandoms that are, oh right, they're so cool, to Jesus Christ, they're disgusting, get them out of here. So today we're going to be reviewing fandoms here. So let's start from now because this is going to be hard because I have to move my phone and camera here all the time. And most importantly, there are some fandoms that I don't know what these are. So who knows? Let's go look at them from the beginning and let's see what fandom am I in. Am I going to spoil myself? Who knows? So let's begin. So what I got here is called the Smelliest Fandoms Tier List Maker, and haha, well, let's see what we got the smelliest fandoms here. And whoo-wee, this place is smellier than a garbage can. There's more poop here than there is in my toilet. We're gonna be listing them based on like how cringe they are, or how cool they are, and how much fan art they are. I don't think I see other fandoms here, but I guess I'll just gonna have to look good somewhere else. So the first one is, who the heck is that? Is that Adele? Oh yeah, by the way, if you guys are offended by this, sorry, this is just my opinion, and you can literally make your own, okay? Free speech and whatever. You guys don't have to, agree to everything I like. This is just my opinion and who's the stinkiest of all stinky fandoms in here. So let's start from the beginning. Alright, like I said, I don't know who that is. Is that Adele? Like, literally, who is that at the beginning? Is that Adele? I don't know, but if it is Adele, I don't know who that is. I kind of like her songs. I don't know anything about her fandom whatsoever, and I know people are gonna be mad at me, so I'm just gonna put him in noticeable. Here. Alright, now it's the One Piece fandom. One Piece is pretty long, and I just heard that it just finished its one season out of 1,000 episodes. And I gotta say, I don't have any problem with the One Piece fandoms, except for like the Gooners in the fandom there. They're pretty weird, I guess. Overall, the story of the One Piece is kind of okay. It's just so long, and people say if I don't have if I have dedication problems, that means that I don't have watch One Piece. It's not that I have dedication problems. It's that I have literally anything else to do instead of watching 1,000 episodes of something. I can watch the entire series of like Naruto, and that's all I can do. But One Piece is like just too much. So we're gonna put One Piece, and I know we're talking about the fandoms, but the fandom, what One Piece fandom, I think these are pretty okay. I like the Zoro people, I guess. I don't know. Who cares? Let's just say it's noticeable. Like you could see a bunch of people liking the fandom because it's One Piece. So we're gonna put that exact. Let's put that right there in the fan. Right there on the noticeable. Next one is Costco. I don't know. Is that Costco? I don't know. Costco. I never went to Costco. I think Costco has some good stuff. Whatever. I'm just gonna put that in a subtle, I guess. DC. Alright, DC, I think there's nothing wrong with DC. I like all the stuff in there. No one has problems in there, so let's just put DC and refreshing, I guess. Dragon Ball Z. Now, Dragon Ball Z is a okay fandom. Well, not really. I really can't get away from the argument, but Goku comes here. Goku can beat everyone. Yeah, can Goku beat Uncle Grandpa? Can he beat Popeye the Sailor Man? No, he cannot because they're cartoons and cartoons are way crazier. But anyways, yeah, Dragon Ball Z fandom. I think all they ever talk about is Goku, and I can't find any other conversation about him about Goku. But I'm glad people like the main character that much. So we're gonna put Goku in the pungent tier. Next one is something called Free Tail, Fire Tail. I don't know. We're just gonna skip from that. Let's just put that in. I'm not gonna put that in any tier list actually. Fortnite. I didn't know there was a Fortnite fandom. I don't know anything about Fortnite. All I know is like Chug Jug memes and Peter Griffin being on Fortnite. I think Fortnite is an okay game. It lost some ideas. Instead of just creating new stuff like, I don't know, maps or weapons or something, they put Peter Griffin in there. But since I have no information of them hurting anyone, I'm just gonna put them in the subtlety. League of Legends. Just like in real life League of Legends, it starts with an L. I've never heard of a person who's, a League of Legends player that showers. Okay, I'm just kidding. I don't know anything about the game League of Legends anyways, so what's the point? I'm just gonna put League of Legends, since I know that some people actually play League of Legends and just, like the absolute worst after like a few people are seeing the stories. We're gonna put that in the pungent tier, but that doesn't mean it's like super pungent, but anyways, it's great. Marvel. Marvel has been making, well, not really though. Marvel has been, I don't know what Marvel has actually been doing. They're just making a lot of sequels and like, spin-offs and people. And I don't know who people who actually enjoy Marvel that are actually like toxic or in the group or always like debating that, Marvel is the greatest thing ever. There's nothing. Marvel is awesome. There's no one can ever, hurt Marvel. Marvel is the greatest plotline ever. I've never heard that before, so that's why I'm gonna put near DC with refreshing. See, now they don't have to fight each other about DC versus Marvel. Ooh, this one's a good one. My Hero Academia. Ooh, you smell that? Ooh, we gotta freshen some air here. Let me just put on some cologne first. Alright, anyway, I was just joking. Geez, the My Hero Academia fandom. There's a lot of weird stuff here, including a lot of things that are shipping people that shouldn't be shipped in the first place, that has literally no connection whatsoever, but just because the fandom actually liked it. And I know that the ending of the My Hero Academia, where Deku becomes like powerless teacher or something, and people don't like it. And mostly there's a bunch of cringe stuff on TikTok, and I don't know what they are. But anyway, just go watch it. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of My Hero Academia. Well, all I know is that the shipping in there and the fanfic is crazy. And I really don't like that. So we're gonna put that in the super stinker rancid tier. Now the next one is Sonic the Hedgehog. Now I have no knowledge too much about Sonic the Hedgehog, so I'm gonna call a professional right here, right now. Hey dude! I'm making a tier list about the smelliest fandoms, so where should I put Sonic the Hedgehog? Well, you heard it there, folks. If my bro is, really professional of the Sonic Hedgehog fandom, then I don't know who else is.
As it is, like, it's not too wild, like before.
Jesus, dude, you scared the hell out of me.
Well, I gotta make sure if the audience know what I mean.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna put that in awful tier. Nah, I'm just kidding, guys. We're gonna put Sonic in what she said, like A-B tier. Star Wars! Woo! I am cutting into hot fire right now. Star Wars fandom, oh my gosh. There's a mighty quote from a recent Jedi who said it before. Nobody hates Star Wars as much as Star Wars fans. The only one who really hates anything that Star Wars give is actual people who, like Star Wars. Such as I. I like Star Wars, and honestly, yeah, our fandom, or like the people who actually enjoy the Star Wars, are pretty not really nice people. Especially during the Kenobi show, there was a lot of like racism for like a black woman who was playing the Sith Lord. I already watched the Kenobi show. I should make a video about the Kenobi show, anyways. But yeah, awful things that happened. But anyways, there are also some people that are really cool, like lightsabers. They are like who creates lightsabers, NeoPixels, and I really like the Star Wars fandom. They're also really supportive, and they're really kind to tell me like a bunch of stuff that I didn't know about the Star Wars fandom. They were really into the old stuff. Obviously, they will obviously hate the new things and the sequels, the remakes, and all that stuff. And the sudden changes, though, they don't like the prequels, like the Revenge of the Sith, Phantom Menace, and Attack of the Clones, and then suddenly like it. It's just a weird twist turn. I actually like those movies. But the Star Wars fandom is not that crazy of a fandom because, well, obviously it's not that, you know, they don't make weird fanfics as far as I know. However, I still think that there are some nasty things there. I'm gonna put that in the Star Wars fandom. Very pungent. Next is Steven Universe. I'm gonna have to call my professionals once again. Hey man, Steven Universe fandom, how stinky is it?
It's a 50-50.
I'm gonna put that in horrible tier. I already started putting that in pungent. The amount of people who like wear costumes and like remake scenes in the Steven Universe, and how much they all go out into the wild, go out to the wild. They all just start singing weird stuff, and how cringy they are with sometimes when people start singing. I don't know. However, it's not that far. It's not that how they went too far. This like making fun of someone or not liking someone. We're also gonna say that we're gonna rate people how much they hate if they don't like it. So, but Steven Universe, that's pretty pungent. Next is Death Note. I don't know anything about Death Note, but however, I don't know if this is true that people say like who watches Death Note gets like 100% better because they watch Death Note. So we're just gonna put Death Note in the well, Death Note's probably it's already over, so I'm gonna put Death Note in noticeable here. Disney, woo! I love Disney. I love the things that they bring out. Said no one. Well, except for one, the Disney fandom and the Disney adults. If you ever heard of Disney adults, then I'm pretty sure you better go put it on a campfire, roast marshmallows, and tell a scary story. That scary story is Disney adults. Okay, Disney adults and most people who like enjoy Disney too much are just the weirdest people around. They are absolutely crazy. It's sometimes that when things are bad or like when like movies are failing sloplessly, they would definitely just make fun of someone who doesn't enjoy it, and they do visit Disneyland like once a week or something like some sort of shrine. Literally, there is no point of going to Disney. You're wasting your money there. How many thousands of dollars have you wasted just to go on a ride on Disney adults, Disneyland, whatever? I want to go to Disneyland to visit the Star Wars stuff, but I'm not that hardcore of a Disney fan, and I will not consume everything Disney will make. So I'm gonna put Disney fan in the pungent tier. I don't know if you guys can see that. Woo-wee! Stink alert! Stink alert! Stink alert! Yeah, I knew this was gonna happen. By the way, you guys know that there was this one girl. I think her name is Georgie Azure. I don't know. I don't remember her name. But it was the girl with like the colored hair, and she has this whole giant Has-Been Hotel and Hello Boss. By the way, we're gonna judge Has-Been Hotel and Hello Boss there together because they're just both literally made by the same person. And honestly, the animation and the story, the animation is okay, I guess. The characters are fine. The storytelling and the lore and the writings are, absolute dog water. And honestly, the Has Been Hotel isn't such a great fandom. The amount of people making ships, weird stuff, and most importantly, there's a lot of not just ships and like weird ships or like fandoms or like costumes or wearing weird costumes. It's mostly because some of the people in here are children, and I know it's mostly the parents' fault is to put the children away. But there's just weird children who's like, children who are already exposed to this and are, literally saying swears and talking about scenes and all that crazy stuff. Luckily, I brought myself a Has-Been Hotel hater. Me, hey dude. Has-Been Hotel. I can't. I don't think they can hear you. Say it. I think you need to come in. Yeah, we're gonna. This is the most obvious thing ever. We're just gonna put this right in rancid tier. Not to mention the amount of people who are like thinking that this is the best writing known to mankind. it's not great. The amount of swearing in here just makes it all like a gushy, child, like a teenage weird fest or something. I don't know. It's just a horrible fandom. The show is okay. The fandom is Naruto. Naruto is over. Who cares anymore? I don't know if there is a Naruto fandom. I think the only thing I know about Naruto is Sakura versus like. I'm gonna put that in subtle just because well, that's the only thing I can see here that people are just talking about Sakura is trash or something. Not to mention the whole entire Naruto run thing that about Area 51 is just cringe. Harry Potter. Don't know anything about the Harry Potter fandom. However, I don't see anyone. I don't see any of the Harry Potter people. Threatening people or like, saying that the writing's back. But I heard like a bunch of stuff like what J.K. Rowling said to the fans. So it is kind of weird. And are there any shippings about the Harry Potters? I don't know. I'm just gonna give it a letter. Settled here. This might be a literally a long video, so I'm just gonna get one of the worst ones and ready to put them in the rancid. I really wish I could put, Hasbin Hotel other than rancid. I'm gonna put like dead decaying body. I could have put that. I could have put it in there. Dead decaying body. Same with My Hero Academia. It goes lower. It probably smells like radiation. All right, let's move on. Rick and Morty. You have to be this intelligent to understand Rick and Morty. And Atheist Supreme, Rick and Morty is the greatest. Really not much about the Rick and Morty fandom. I think they're just pretty chill, I guess. Anyways, Rick and Morty fandom, noticeable. I think that's the Smash Bros logo. Also, I have no idea what there's a Smash Bros fandom. I'm just gonna put that in subtle. The Big Bang Theory. I think the other one is Super Mario Bros. And I think Super Smash Bros. Is over there. I'm just gonna put that also in the, like subtle fandoms, like the fandom there exists and it just exists. But the Big Bang Theory, I kind of like the Big Bang Theory, and I don't know anything about the Big Bang Theory fandom. I think there's like, like fans who watch the Big Bang Theory. I think it was pretty okay. If I say myself I'm a Big Bang Theory fandom, and nah, it's not that bad. I don't see anyone who's 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 holding pikes and pitchforks around the world for anyone who doesn't like the Big Bang Theory. I think they're pretty chill. I don't know, okay? Forgive me for my, not knowing anything about the Big Bang Theory fandom if there are people there. But I kind of like the show, so refreshing. Lord of the Rings. It's okay. I don't see people hating Lord of the Rings, and I think Lord of the Rings is an okay show. Not show. I meant movies. I watched my first ever, fun fact. when I was going to the movies, my first time ever watching the movies was literally, I think it was not I think it was the Lord of the Rings. It's not Hobbit. I don't know. I think it was Lord of the Rings. It was I don't know. It was the one where the dragon was attacking this village, and he puts the kid here, and then he has like the metal arrows, and like, look at me, and then shoots the arrow with his son. That's not how archery works. But anyways, I don't see any the Lord of the Rings fandom hurting anyone. I guess I don't know. Refreshing here. We're getting close to video games, so let's start with Valorant. I don't know anything about Valorant. Once again, I wish there was a let's just say I'm not gonna put him in there. But Genshin Impact, wow, that's some super stinker people. However, I don't see anyone who's trashing and stabbing someone who doesn't like Genshin Impact. I think they're just cringe by themselves. They're just weird people. Oh, there's also that thing where I think I heard an article about like in a YouTube video about like someone who wastes their entire life savings on Genshin Impact. Oh no! Just as I expected, the Genshin Impact people just put a spell on me or some voodoo magic the moment I speak of Genshin Impact, and then just tilted my camera. For that reason, it's going on the rancid. I'm just kidding. I'm just gonna put it in the pungent tier. I don't know what this is. Is this, what the heck is this? Is this Walmart? Walmart has a fandom? I don't know. Warhammer 40k. Warhammer 40k are really cool people. However, they do get annoying sometimes. Like, oh yeah, destruction, death, and blah blah blah. But they're not really just like annoying people, not too annoying people. I think they're pretty okay. I like they're watching me making figurines, and I don't like it when they always just talks about Warhammer all the time. It's like Warhammer is the only thing that exists in the entire world. There are some people like that, but I'm pretty sure there's not a lot of people like that. Settled here. Call of Duty World War II. I don't know why it's just the World War II. But Call of Duty. Call of Duty, Call of Duty, Call of Duty, Call of Duty. Call of Duty events poo poo. I like Call of Duty games. The World War II games are kind of good. But I don't know anyone who's, bashing you in the skull or just shooting you with a MG42 or, throwing a potato masher grenade at you for not liking. I don't know if there are any weird ships are going on. Well, there are ships in Call of Duty because the battleships. You know what I'm saying? So refreshing. I don't know what this logo is. It's W. I think it's World of Warcraft. I don't know about the fandom about that. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a good card game. I really liked Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's really cool anime too. I don't know anyone who's murdered anyone over for not liking Yu-Gi-Oh! There are no weird fandoms in Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, it's pretty cool. Everyone's pretty chill in the Yu-Gi-Oh! World. I'm gonna put that in the refreshing. However, Pokemon, there's a lot of things going on with the world of Pokemon now, and I promised I was going to make a video about like Pokemon scalpers, which is including this video. Pokemon scalpers are loose right now because Pokemon scalping. People really fighting over like kids game cards, and I think they're considered part of the fandom too. And there's a lot of weird shipping and people really wanting to smash Pokemon characters that's literally animals. Batman. I call a Pokemon, Batman. I call a Pokemon. You wanna know what Pokemon is? Ooh, Pokemon is Cash Joker. Okay, anyways, Pokemon Rancid. I wish I could put them separately from My Hero Academia and Hazbin Hotel because Pokemon is not too crazy, I guess. I think they are just the amount of crazy to be in the Rancid. But I want to make Hazbin Hotel and My Hero Academia like radioactive waste smelliness tier. I don't know what this metal head thing, but Magic the Gathering. Magic the Gathering people, I really like them. They're really cool, chill people, but I don't know anything about them that much, so I'm not gonna put them in that tier. I just like the game. Bronies. Super stinker right here. Put your gas mask on, cause bronies. Wow, one man, one jar. Yeah, the jar. Ooh. Might have to call the professionals on this one. Bronies. Well, you heard it there, folks. Bronies. They're not too worried, but there are some times that people are just like too attached to this, and sometimes adults who actually just watch this because they like it, and there's some people who actually love this, including there's that one meme like where Mordecai and like the purple unicorn made that sound like we could pretend that. I can't sing it. I forgot. Anyways, the weird fandoms are really weird. There's a lot of weird shipping, self-insert shipping, a lot of weird stuff when adults do it. I think this goes to like right there in the rancid. Furries. Now, a lot of people don't like furries. A lot of people do like furries because they're really chill. I honestly have no idea why these things, exist. But not because like I'm not saying like, oh, these people shouldn't exist. I was just like, why these things exist? What are they are into? Or just like hugging? But they are really weird people, I guess. Except for this one furry. I think he's a furry or not. I think his name is. He's in TikTok and he likes collects swords and reviews swords. I think his name is Cerberus or something. I don't know, but that's the only furry I liked because he collects swords and buys swords. He's like practicing HEMA. So furries aren't that bad. However, there are some furries that are just weird as hell. Like super weird as hell. I'm just gonna put them in the pungent tier list right there next to like Disney and Steven Universe and Star Wars. Don't know anything about horror. I don't know, maybe like horror movie fandoms? I don't know. But Dream SMP fandom. there are actual living people here who are actually being shipped for no reason. There's a lot of weird main character shipping, self-insert shipping, a lot of fanfics, so much weird stuff. There's so much weird stuff going on here in the SMP, but there's like a level of cringe that the Dream SMP is like mysticism level of the cringe of the SMP. There's a lot of weird stuff in there. I just have to call the professionals again. Wait, hey, Dream SMP.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that's dead.
What?
It's dead. No, I'm pretty sure it's dead.
Well, it is kind of dead because I don't hear people liking the Dream SMP. I do watch videos of like history of the Dream SMP. I guess I think there's a whole plot line story. I guess, but there are some like weird kids who are like into like making weird TikToks of them being self-insert to the I don't know what they call it, to the Dream SMP fandom. And honestly, I don't want to get involved in any sort of way of the Dream SMP fandom. There's a lot of weird stuff. Like I don't know if there are any fanfics and people who are hating the Dream SMP are probably gonna get smoked. So yeah, I would definitely put Dream SMP in the pungent. The reason why I put them in pungent is because, well, they're not too crazy because, well, honestly, it's not that bad. If you want to go bad, I suggest you should just look at, like, not Steven Universe, My Hero Academia and probably Aspen Hotel. I think I will probably change that in Dream SMP at some point if they did something crazy. But I think, yeah, oh wait, forgot Dream is also there because Dream SMP. You know what? Never mind. Rancid. I forgot one more fandom that isn't here, but I'm just gonna do it myself. The Loud House fandom. Oh boy. I don't know what this cartoon show that in Nickelodeon was so special, but it made people really crazy. There are so many weird things. For example, there's a lot of fandoms, people who are like making ships. There's like one article or like one thing I heard about like someone make a ship, and because he made like, oh my god, there's characters they draw pregnant, and you know how old these kids are, no idea, and they made so many insert characters, fan fictions, fandoms, and like also maybe I'll call my professionals one more time. The Loud House fandom.
Never heard of anything.
Well, that maybe that sounds like a I don't know anything about it, but I'm just gonna put them absolutely in the rancid tier because all the crazy drawings they made, yes, they do exist, and you gotta go go into the deeps and depths of like the outskirts of the internet if you want to go search for those weird pictures people draw. It's just so weird. If you guys have any problem with that, and it's your fault. I'm always right. My opinion's always right. Screw you. I'm just kidding. Go ahead in the comments. What did I say wrong or something? This is just my opinion on what I think. Okay, what are the worst and smelliest fandoms ever? So yeah, that's all I have to say. This video is getting too long, and I'm just gonna make this into a few shorts so people can digest it with their short extension span brain. So yeah, that's all I have to say. For these fandoms. If you're offended, I'm sorry, but I made up my mind. There's nothing you can do about it. See ya.